some ways is we're creating a backdoor in our own technology networks that our enemies are now using.
Right.
Like, that's crazy.
Right.
And again, no one is going to accept responsibility for it. No one's going to say, oh, we screwed up, let's do something different. This is the biggest problem I have. Like, all policy disagreements aside, the refusal of people to take responsibility and say, you know what, I screwed up.
Right.
Okay? That is the biggest thing that's messed up about American government and politics. Like, look, I had a lot of friends. I mean, I was 18 years old. What the hell did I know? I supported the Iraq War when I was 18 years old.
Me too.
I feel bad about it.
Yeah, me too.
I
I didn't know anything. I mean, I thought they were telling the truth. I believed government. I was a Democrat.
Marine Corps. Like, I did my part. I feel bad about it.
Yeah.
There were people in Washington.
I stopped short of that. I supported it in backyards, yelling, watching a lot of Fox, but I stopped quite short of.
Look, man, we all have to
we all
serve.
do our
we have
own
to
thing.
serve in our own roles,
That's
right? We all have a part to play. But the guys who pushed it, they're still collecting multi-$100,000 a year salaries.
They're on
from think
MSNBC.
tanks. They're on MSNBC.
Yeah.
They still have influence, and they've never said we screwed up. Like, that is the thing that bothers me the most about Washington, D.C., is nobody accepting responsibility for failure. Because if you can't do that, you can't fix the problem.
Well, now it seems to be that we're shoehorning domestic issues into foreign policy, meaning that you can no longer sell a war by saying we're there to democratize a country, or we are there to preemptively invade a country before they attack us. But we can say we are there so that drag queens in whatever in Russia can have more of a say.
Well, you asked why we were in Afghanistan for 20 years. It's like because the Afghanis really needed to learn about gender studies and the importance of the non-binary gender approach that we have in the United States of America. No, I mean, you think I'm kidding?
Yeah.
Your tax dollars, my tax dollars, were funding programs in a country where a lot of people didn't have running water. We're funding programs to teach people that there were non-binary genders out there.
That I do agree with because it is fun. And I do want to see someone with a Kalashnikov
I'm sure it was really fun.
standing in the rubble and then someone explaining that to them, to me, is fun. And that I support that.
I'm sure the Taliban had a lot of fun learning about 87 genders. That's probably true.
Why can't a 7-year-old consent to a life-altering medical surgery? Is it because you guys are fascist? I don't understand. Like, why wouldn't you allow an 8-year-old to fully transition?
Not only that, but they want us to use our tax dollars to try to force other countries to follow this ridiculous pathway.
Yes.
Which, by the way, like I know a little bit about your politics. I know you're like pretty libertarian. Like, this is actually something I agreed with the old guard left about. That we should be, whether it's in defense or whether it's in medical industry, we should be worried about when a profit-motivated entity tries to manipulate government policy. Right. And right now we have pharma companies making billions of dollars off of cross-sex hormones for children. Right. And nobody on the left is like, that's kind of weird that the very people who are getting rich off of this are also lobbying the American Medical Association and the U.S. government to force this on American citizens.
It should have, I think it should have stopped. The show Glee was great. Everyone was singing and everyone was happy. No, it truly was. And like, people weren't, it wasn't so contentious, but then it got to a point where somebody like me, who's been a gay, out-of-the-closet person for 15 years, I'm going, why in God's name would a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 14-year-old be taking puberty-blocking hormones, be transitioning, be making, leave kids alone, leave people alone. It's very simple. A lot of gay people feel that way. There are trans people that feel that way. Yeah. There are people all over the spectrum that feel that way. None of them are ever listened to.
Yes.
It is the most extreme, loudest voices in that movement that are listened to only.
Yeah, well, what really radicalized me on this issue was I was actually talking to a friend who really disagrees with my views on transgender politics. And I mean,